always dance some
so
sort
I
of.
can put the music
We're bringing
in
it.
and stuff. Oh, she's doing it. Look at Britt. Oh, yes.
Would you expect any less? I mean, I wouldn't have been disappointed if you didn't dance your way in, Britt. Come on, man.
That's right, guys. We must, when we enter the Vic podcast, we're voguing.
That's
Because
right.
that's part of being unhinged. You know, you don't come in all hinged in a box, whatever. So, there you go.
Absolutely not. But
And see ya.
Whoa.
Today's a big day.
big
All
day.
right.
Well, okay. Welcome back to the Unhinged Hygienist, where we say the things everyone else is thinking, but HR wishes we wouldn't.
I bet they do. So, and today we're hanging out with somebody who has somehow managed to become one of the most recognizable voices in dental hygiene while making the rest of us look wildly unproductive.
Every time I open social media, she's launching something new. But like, honestly, if you are in the dental realm and you don't know Brush with Britt, you need help.
You've been trapped somewhere. You have
Something is
obviously-
wrong.
No.
You know?
I mean, you've been in our face since what? COVID, right? And it's
Oh my
like,
gosh, I'm sorry.
no, it's
No,
amazing.
no.
You got us through COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, but by the way, this is Britt. This is Britt with Brush with Britt, by the way. If you don't recognize that beautiful face and smile and voice and hair, God, your hair. Wow.
Right.
Wow, you
I
guys.
mean- See, you're going to want to come back. We're good for hygiene and the ego. There you go. Oh, man. That's hilarious.
What an intro.
It's a good one. It's a good
Right?
intro. I like that. It's kind of where we were talking about if you don't know, if you're in dental hygiene, you don't know who you are. You've
If
obviously
you
been
don't
trapped
know,
under
now
something.
you know.
Now you know. But
Okay.
you know, the technical stuff. This is Britt. She is the BS RDH RDHAP ABC PDQ speaker, educator, writer, entrepreneur, podcast host, mentor, content creator. See the overproductive part? Industry advocate and professional overachiever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Right?
Can you fit that all on a business card?
And you
I
can
need
get
to
the
try.
QR code that just opens up the whole thing, you know? That's what
right?
you. I want to get I want to get one of those, but yeah, we'll get there.
It'll make it a
But
lot easier.
guys, she is the founder of Brush with Britt. Follow her.
Mhm.
She's the host of Brush with Britt podcast and one of the loudest voices pushing our profession forward. Thank you. We need so many more. Like,
We do.
jump on the train, guys. Yes.
It is
Right
true.
on.
Let's see. Okay, Britt, you have definitely built an incredible community of dental hygienists while advocating for prevention, oral systemic health, career growth, and helping hygienists realize that they're capable of a lot more than just surviving a double column schedule. And we
I don't-
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you
don't-
for that.
No double
Not double
columns
column.
in my world.
I mean, maybe in a really good setup, but yeah, no.
and not full time. No.
Yeah, no, not
Mm.
full time.
We've
But what-
talked about bringing somebody on who, like, one who's for and one who's against, because I myself can't work double column. I'm too like, oh my God, I need to be in one place. I can't. It's too jumpy for me.
Well, I just feel like when you're jumping back and forth, it's like I feel like I'm just leaving the patient, and I don't know. I don't feel like it feels right. Like you're not giving them the attention that they need and deserve while they're there.
Yeah, and I really prefer to go over all the medical history and
Yeah.
all that stuff myself, you know.
Exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
know, like even the infection control part of it, you know, I got trust issues. I want to clean
Too.
I want to clean
Me
my
too.
stuff.
As you
I'm like,
should.
I don't know what they're asking for medical history. Did anything change today? No. And I'm like, any cardiovascular events, any
Right. Yeah, a
kidney,
little bit more
liver, you know what? Because, I've had patients where they're like after their appointment, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot, I had a heart attack a few months ago. Fantastic.
Super. Oh, I'm on blood
Perfect.
thinners now.
Yeah.
Cancer
Yeah.
removal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the invitation for double column workers and lovers to come on and tell us how you do it and how you make yourself feel complete with what we think we're missing. So hear us.
Yeah, you're out there.
Yeah.
You're out there.
I know they must be. So I
We,
want to
we,
learn
we got
more.
one. We got one coming up, I think,
Oh, we do?
this month. Yeah.
Cool.
I would love to get a few and just see where they're at. It'd be interesting, but go on.
I wonder how many we
Squirrely,
could
I'm
get. Can we
squirrely.
do like a split screen? We'll have like 3 and 3. We'll be in the middle, like ding ding. We'll try to. Britt, you want to be a ref? That'd be fun.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
Oh
kind
my
of in the
God.
middle.
Yeah.
feel like if there's a setup that's right and
Yeah.
a team does all the right things, it can work.
It could.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sure there's possibilities out there.
In
So,
an ideal world.
yeah,
yeah.
an ideal world. That's right.
All
One of
right.
the things that I didn't list on your business card list is that you won the World Hygienist Award.
Yeah.
What? Tell us about
Please tell us
that.
that to know. What is
Man,
that?
I mean, so they have different categories. They have first you have to get the award of distinction here in the United States, and there's new grad, and then there's research, clinical position. There's all these different ones. There's like 6 of them, and then you can be up for grabs for the World Hygienist Award, and they have the same 6 categories, and then you're up against people from all over the world. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. Which
Yeah, and it's
category
coming
did you
up this
win?
year. New grad. Yeah, new grad category. Back 2 years
That's
ago now, which
awesome.
is crazy.
It's been a fast couple of years. Huh? You've
Yeah.
been jam-packed,
Yeah.
girl. My
Yeah,
goodness.
it goes by really
And I've
fast.
been following you since then, and I just like you inspire me because I'm like, I was one of the hygienists. We've been doing this for so long. Hygiene, not the podcast. And you feel stuck because it's like, what can we do? Because we've almost been trained in our head like all we have is clinical. It's like, oh, nurses can do this, they can do this. We don't. Like we're just stuck here. And now like I see you and all these other people doing so much more, and it's just like inspired me to be like unhinged a little bit.
Unhinged.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I do like doing all the different things, but it is still a challenge even for me, to get out there and like you have to find the opportunities. Like they don't just come like
Mhm.
knocking at your door, which is really it is hard. Yeah.
That's true. We knocked on your door for this.
You did. That's why. Yeah. Yeah. The
We're like,
squeaky wheel gets the oil.
thank you for the oil. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Big-
calling myself the oil.
I remember like when you're like signed up, I'm like, Lauren, we've made it.
I was like,
I'm like,
what?
we're
We got
getting all
group?
these like really, I'm
That's
like
funny.
people that we really looked up to. Like we're like,
Yeah.
wow, this
It's
is
so
it.
fun. I love doing podcasts.
We feel like this has turned into something that I think is even more fun than we anticipated.
Yeah.
Because Tassia and I are just like goofy chicks who want to hang out. And like this was our excuse to be across the country and talk to each other. And then so you're our 3rd guest now, and this just gets more and more fun.
Yeah.
And we get to learn more. And I think this personal connection to everything and tightening our community, especially across the country, has been really quite cool. I think that's been enjoyable.
Yeah.
Plus, I think when we connect with people who are like minded and want to advocate for our profession, because there's a lot that don't. So it's like we need to find that our people and stick
Exactly.
together and kind of push forward the profession too.
Absolutely.
Or
It's
maybe
fun.
motivate the ones that don't. It's like, we could be those people that, spark something in someone else that's like, okay, we could do this too. Because I didn't always think I could do this, but here we are.
Here we
Here you
are.
are.
And we are a little goofy, but we do get serious too.
We'll do
And
our
Dentistry's a
practice
little
our face.
goofy.
We all should run a little goofy. I think that's cute. But who was Britt before Brush with Britt? What'd you do? Tell us about you.
Man, I mean, well, I started, which when you keep saying 2020, I'm like, gosh, I can't believe that was like 6 years ago already. But that was one of the reasons why I started social media to begin with, was because I was in the program and it shut down completely. And I was literally had nothing to do. And I didn't,
Mm.
I didn't get to finish dental hygiene school for a minute. So I was like, maybe I'll just start posting.
It worked.
And that's
That was a good
and
plan.
that's where it started. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, prior to that, I feel like I did start dental hygiene school a little bit later in life for me. I started my prereqs when I was 24, I think. So, some people are graduating and they're like 20 years old. I'm like, that's
Uh,
pretty incredible. But yeah, I had a little bit of I had to find what I wanted to do moment.
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I finished right before I graduated 1 month before I turned 26. So I took a little detour also.
I was
Yeah.
21. I was 21.
That's so
Wow,
wild. That's so young.
baby.
I know. And I was partying like a rock star while working full time.
Because you had that 20-year-old
You had that
gusto.
energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
You
like,
can
oh,
do
I
that.
start at 11. I can get home at 5 a.m. It's enough time. And
Yeah,
here
no
we
way.
are.
So you weren't always one of those people that knew what they wanted to do. You sort of went roundabout.
Oh, no, no. I actually failed out of college my first semester with my little 1.5 GPA that I had at the time.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm never going back to school. Nope, never going back. School's not for me, And then I worked and I became a registered dental assistant. I did that for a couple of years and I'm like, okay, what's the next thing? And then I started looking into what profession I could get into through community college. And I was like between nursing and dental hygiene. And ultimately I picked dental hygiene just because dentistry was my background. So, and then I ended up being passionate about it. So I got really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
what
think
was
that's
hygiene school like for you?
The hygiene school was a lot different. So once I came back and did my like prereqs for dental hygiene school, I was a completely different student than when I dropped out. I didn't even have my frontal lobe yet. So it was like,
that's true. I'm still developing.
yeah, I was still developing. So once I started back in my prereqs, it was like got all A's, and dental hygiene school was still a challenge. I was working full time, but I was just a much better student and doing something that I was passionate about. So it totally changed the game for me.
That makes a big difference when you actually enjoy what you're doing. You actually want to learn and
Mm.
do.
And you're
Yeah. Did you shed any tears in hygiene school?
Yeah, lots of tears. Lots
We
of
do,
sad
Joe.
tears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
there were
are
some
not
stressful
lying when they
moments.
tell you to say goodbye to your loved ones for a couple years. You're just like, okay, what's a
You're like,
party?
"Sure."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
My friends would call me, be like, "Hey, Tasia, I'm, just wondering if you're still alive." Yes, I'm like, well, my program was like, it was the last year, 26 years ago, that it was a 1-year program. It was an accelerated 13 classes a semester. I had no life. There was no life to be had.
Wow, 1 year?
Yeah. We had
That's
like 13
crazy.
exams in like a week. I didn't even know what to study for at that point. I just prayed.
Yeah, I mean, done please get me
They
through
don't do
this.
that anymore, but there's actually Utah has an accelerated hygiene program, right? I know a few people who've taken that. It's like a year and a half.
Yeah, I
Chicago
mean, we
used
have
to have
some.
one.
We
Yeah.
have some in California, but they're almost 2 years, I wanna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, around that.
But yeah, I feel like hygiene school should come with a warning label. I don't think people realize how it
A
can
warning
be.
label and a support group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They see,
yeah.
but I
We
don't
had a lot of tears because, like, when we were 2 weeks away from taking our boards exam when COVID hit. So
know.
yeah, so the written boards exam. So I had been studying, you're studying all the way up until the exam, and then 2 weeks before COVID hit, and then the exams got canceled.
How long did you have to wait?
I ended up so in California, they shut down all the testing centers, and so I randomly was looking like 2 months later, so March, April, so like May, and there was a facility in Arizona, and so
Mhm.
I signed up and I had 5 days and I studied for the, 4 days and then traveled over there on the 5th and took my
Wow.
test because I was like, as long as I have a chance to take it,
Yeah.
at least I get a chance to take it. If I fail, I'll figure that out later, and then I just took it. So it was like 2 months later.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was the written part. Did you already
Yeah, that
take the
was the written.
clinical?
No, the clinical part came after. So then once the program reopened, then we had to find patients for our clinical exam, which was a nightmare because who wanted to go to a clinic
Right.
during COVID?
Right.
Especially.
So that was crazy. And that was still when they were like trying to decide if typodonts were going to be accepted or not.
No.
So ultimately I did end up being able to take it on a live real person, but yeah, it was nuts.
What
Does
a weird
anyone
time.
still get to do right? Does anyone still get to do live people? Because when
I
I just
don't
had to
think
take
so.
mine, s- that's ridiculous. I
Yeah,
well,
I
I don't
think they
want to work on
changed
a
it to
typodont.
typodonts.
Even think you should have to do a clinical. In Canada, you do not. We
Yeah, well,
work on
that's true.
people for years and
Yeah,
years. Why stress people out to the point where they want to like that? That's a horrible time because I had to do my U.S. boards
that's
too,
true.
and I was like, this is crazy. I don't even know this person. They're gonna go. I don't even know if they're gonna like pass.
Yeah,
And
I
then if
feel
they
like I
don't,
have
there's
a
$1,700 down the drain.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like my perspective on this has kind of like changed because like when all of that happened with COVID, like trying to find a patient was ridiculous. And we were like, okay, well, at least if we had the typodont option, we could at least take it on that. And then now with like things like internationally trained dentist, maybe being able to work as hygienist, it's almost like at least there's that exam there to be, another way to test how much they actually know in some form, some capacities. There was one point where I was like, yeah, I think we should just get rid of it. But now I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. Because in California, we actually don't have to do it anymore on a live patient or a
Oh,
typodont. We're the only state.
really?
Hmm.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
because you have your own dental hygiene board. See?
Yeah, they changed it like a year or 2 ago.
Uh, and you
Yeah.
are all working in favor of each other, and we all understand the knowledge that we gain during those many, many, many clinical hours.
Isn't
Jeez.
that nice?
So maybe that would be that's an interesting sort of hybrid version to have the people who want to come in, the international dentists and other people, because, okay, maybe everyone's clinical skills are different. Some people might use a hacksaw. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what they
exactly.
do in Siberia. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Like, who knows what instruments they learn
Right?
or, any
Right,
of those things. Or
exactly.
perio, like, yeah,
Yeah.
who knows?
I mean, that's true. Because you look at a lot of other countries when you travel and you're like, your dentistry is suspect. I don't know
It's
if I
different.
want you just kind of dropping over here. Have you ever learned about a perio pocket? Did you know you could go under the gums? You know?
Mhm.
Are they
Exactly.
passing that? Are they doing that for internationally
I
trained?
think right now it's still I can't remember, but I think right now it's just, like, kind of in the works, but it hasn't passed in California yet.
There's so
So
many in the works things. And I feel like everything is like it's 2 years it gets introduced, and then 2 years we fight for it, and then 2 years to get implemented. Like we have the OPA fight going on here in Nevada. So that's kind of an interesting thing. But
and that's been an ongoing thing there too, right?
mhm. It
Yeah.
only barely didn't get passed in the last House session just because they ran out of time. So now it's going gung ho because people have had these 2 years to learn about it. And like we just went to the dental board meeting to have an open forum about it. And the dentists who came in were hot and heavy, like, we want this. And the hygienists were like, whoa, whoa, have you heard of periodontal disease? Let's talk about it. It's more than the scraping. And I think that it was really eye-opening for us sitting in the room. It was emotionally a real slap in the face to see what people genuinely think about the level of care that we provide, as if it really is just stucco and we're just doing demo in the mouth all day long. I'm like, no, this is a lot of clinical, and all of our years of school cannot be just given to some kid off the street in 20 minutes or less. Like, it really, we were trying not to be personalized by it. It's not like it's not personal, but it felt like it.
Yeah, it's hard to kinda separate the 2, like, your
Absolutely.
emotions from everything else. Like, I feel like in there might be some type of structure that I would get behind, but what they are currently suggesting, it's like, "No way,"
No, not yet.
you know?
There was a dental assistant dean, a school dental assistant school dean a scheme who was there, and she was like, listen, I know how to create a program that would give you this kind of OPA. And that was an interesting thought because it's almost like a CNA versus an LPN versus an RN. Like if you have these different levels, why can't we have maybe a lower, a mid level, and then we have the dental therapist out there? And so if we could have these kind of levels, then great. Okay, maybe. But then as long as that's evidenced on our name tag and everybody gets to know this person can only, clean above your teeth if you're only a prophy, and this one, so all the hygienists have to do perio and all the
That's
OPAs do
the other part
prophies?
of it, though, like, I'm not trying to do perio like that all day, like, now that I've been
Yeah,
doing no,
Yeah.
like, seriously, like, now
Yeah.
that I've been doing this for 6 years, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't wanna do all those hard cases all day
no,
long, like,
it's a lot.
it wears on your
Yeah,
entire body, like, that's crazy.
because I
No,
love
thank God.
love perio. So when I
Me
moved to
too.
Michigan, I started working at a perio office, and I was like, oh, this is not
Never
what
mind.
I just miss like the co-diagnosing too. Because if you see something, it's like you can't really. You're just and it was hard. I was exhausted. I was like, I don't want to do perio all day. Like I want to do more variety of different things, or else now it's becoming more monotonous as well. And I'm like,
Well,
yeah.
that's true, yeah.
Okay. But I think all three of us are really a little different that way because we're all GPT providers. And so it's like, I'm not going to go back to a polishing cup that hurts my hand, and I'm not going to scale, deep pockets all day long and just, no, between the ears and the hands. And no,
So
no.
I had a kid. Well, I had so many kids this week.
'Cause it's summer.
Like I'm like, if you'll know, I prefer to refer. But
God
this kid,
bless.
they were like 4, so I sometimes will polish. But I was like, I'm gonna polish and then I'm gonna disclose again because now I'm curious. I might have like not even polished at all. I was like, child, we're gonna GBT you is what's happening, and you're gonna be fine. No one's going to drown. And he did good. But I was like, I polished and there was like so much pink left still on after I disclosed. So I was like, and I tell people, it's like, if we don't see it, we don't know. And if
It
it's that
changes your
blue,
perspective so much.
acidic,
It's like,
Yeah. I can't
yeah,
work without disclosing. But that,
no,
I mean, and even then, now you knew how hard you had to push with that Profi cup. And now you know you're like, well, now I'm doing damage to the enamel. And now it's like, if we know better, we do better. And now you feel bad about it. And you're like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
and then
Yeah.
you see all the distal surfaces and you're like,
right,
Oh, yeah.
you're like,
right,
Right. You're like, whoops, didn't
mm-hmm.
get that at all. You don't
Yeah.
need to clean all surfaces of your teeth, right?
no,
No.
And it gives you like you're able to distinguish at least a little bit between the different types of bacteria. And without that, it's like you can't see what you're looking at. And you also can't see the differences between, the colors or whatever. And so it's like, I don't know, it really changes the way you think about it.
yeah, because that blue, the acidic bacteria, I'm like, there's your mouthwash, sir, that you don't brush with at night today, that you only rinse with. This isn't going to fix this problem at all.
Yeah. No, I
At
love
all.
that the color allows us because you know
Mhm.
how many times people say, "Oh, I ate on the way here," or "That's my lunch," or whatever. I'm like, "This is your lunch from 3 days ago." Like, the truth is right here. My little tagline is, "The proof is in the purple," and so it's
I
like,
like that.
this is
That's a good
it.
one.
The
Yep.
proof is in the right? Don't we need like a headband for all
Yeah.
the Airflow GBT peeps? We're gonna be like, "What?"
We might have to get one for an episode. But you know what else I like about the disclosing? Because a lot of times, the doctor will be like, just brush and floss more. And then you disclose and there's like no biofilm and a mouthful of decay. So then it's like, well,
Other
Yeah,
things.
doctor,
yeah.
this is probably an airway issue or something else. Let's dig a little bit deeper. So it's nice to be
Mhm.
able to see that too, because then obviously it's not a biofilm situation.
And I love it for IO photos too. Like, I feel
Hmm.
like it makes the biggest difference to show your patients that. Like, usually, like, yeah, we can see when it's just like the white plaque, we can see that. But
Yeah.
showing that to patients, sometimes that's not going to, click as much as being able to see the disclosing solution. So I just feel like it's so much
Absolutely.
more helpful.
Yep.
And then makes my job easier when they come back and it's better the next time.
I like it when they take it as a challenge, right? They're like, "All right, bring that camera out. Let's see, compare to
Yeah.
this time
Yeah.
to last time." I'm like, "Okay,
Let's do it.
see?" I used to have
Yep.
this one guy who would come in with a habit tracker app and he would be like, "Look, 792 days of flossing." And I'm like, "Yes,
Wow. Love
now
that.
whatever." Yeah, and then
It's
disclose.
impressive.
Yeah, well, but all right, let's
All
talk
right.
about the Brush with Brett empire.
The
I want to know
empire. Yeah.
how your educational content became one of the biggest brands out there.
Yep. Please share.
Ooh, I mean, I feel like consistency, that's for sure. Talking about things that people don't wanna talk about.
Which we
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
putting yourself out there a little bit and not being afraid to be an advocate for most importantly, for our patients. I feel like that's where it comes in the most, but it's just trying to shed light on the things that we need to change in dentistry, and sometimes that always doesn't, go over so well, but we have to talk about it, and I feel like it helps people see what is going on out there and how we can change and be better providers. But honestly, I think the number one thing is just consistency and trying to just be a resource for people and be as helpful as I can when they're asking questions. Whether I know the answer or not, I probably know somebody that does, and I can give them a referral to somebody else who has more information because I'm not an expert on everything.
And
And
we
like me and
shouldn't have
Lauren
to
say,
be.
we don't want to be experts because then,
No.
No, no,
we want to
exactly.
learn and grow. So,
Yeah.
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 Britt,
So
do you
when,
think
go
oh,
ahead.
say, sorry.
We're
I
so
would say, do you
excited.
think you started with the idea of educating other hygienists, other dental people, or did you want to talk to normal people? Like, that's what we bounce around with. Like, who are we actually talking to?
For me, it all started just wanting to educate people on how to become a dental hygienist through community college because I did not have any other option and I didn't have financial support. So I just wanted to let people know, like, hey, this is an option out there. This is how you can go about doing it. And then from there, I really was looking for another hygienist who was creating content that I would be inspired by. Like, I wanted to see people out there that were doing the medical history and doing the oral cancer screenings because I got out of hygiene school and I see other hygienists practicing. I'm like, wait, they're not checking blood pressure like we were taught in school, like why not? And so
Mhm.
when I went online to like try to find those types of people, it didn't come instantly, So then I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to start creating the content that I wanted to see and just kept on growing off of that. But I feel like then you kind of attract the people that are practicing the same way, and then you see, oh, okay,
Exactly.
there is other providers out
Yeah.
there that are doing this and I am doing the right thing. And it is okay to want to practice at the bare minimum, the standard plus go higher than that,
Yeah.
it's not
Amen.
this bad thing. So
It's nice to
Preach it,
see other
girl.
people doing
Jeez.
more because sometimes you just get kind of stuck where you're at and you don't really know. But then when you're like, even us, like we've connected with so many great people and it's just really
Mhm.
exciting to see what everyone is doing to like really advocate and hopefully expand our scope as well too.
especially when
Because
you get out there and you're brand new and maybe you just get in one small office and you might be paired with, your coworker that isn't as passionate about prevention as you are, and then you kind of trickle into those same patterns and habits that they're doing. So who you surround yourself with, especially as a new grad, really affects the type of hygienist you're going to be.
That's the
no,
truth.
that's true.
Yeah, trying to find a big practice. Like, I always preferred to find somewhere where I was not the only hygienist. I always wanted to be with somebody else. But then to your point, what if they aren't as passionate? I know not all of us are as lucky to have, super passionate people like us in the room next to them. One of the best offices I worked at was in Vegas, where there were four of us, and we were all like airflow, and we were all laser, and we were all CE. That was the one that she left me at. That was the one. So that was our origin story. That's the reason. So when I came back, because I moved back from Germany, because I was already working with the airflow system over there, and I had to move back to America because of COVID, and I had to work in an office that had the airflow. And I found the office that Tasia was at. We worked together for 1 month, and in a blaze of glory, this chick up and left, and I was like, bro, what happened? So, but anyway, it was still fun. And
We're
so there
still
have been,
friends.
we made it through. Maybe that kept our friendship alive.
Yeah.
But you have to be surrounded by the people who feel the way. And if not, you start a podcast and you find people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
we
it's not
appreciate that.
always your first office, like I had so much growth in my first office and I temped and got to see what was out
Mm,
there, it
yep.
took a while for me to find my footing.
See, and look at you. You're killing it. It took me like I graduated in 2001. I didn't really figure out like get into oral systemic more until like 2023 or 2024 when I went to the IDM conference and then everything
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, and I was really seeking it out. Like
Hmm.
I was like
Which is
talking to people.
awesome.
I was trying to find, GBT office. That's how me and Lauren met.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I was really trying to find an office that had it. And then eventually I got into one and that ended up not working out. But then I fell into the lap of another one. So it just worked
It
out. But I
works.
did put in, the effort there to try to find a practice that was actually utilizing technology like that.
Because
Is
you
there
can't go back. You can't go back.
no?
But
Is
yeah.
there
Yeah.
more now, like in Vegas and California, like more offices that are starting to get GBT?
There are some,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's pretty, like maybe a little bit.
It's still sparse as far as like
So,
the
yeah.
switch to gbt.com website where you can find certified offices. In Vegas, there's only six. And I mean, we probably have 100 or 500 offices, and there's six that have the airflow. Like, that's crazy. And I don't know about people who have the other Profi jets
Hmm.
or
The
woodpeckers or
Hue
whatever.
3D.
Right.
Yeah.
So like,
No,
because I moved to Michigan.
it's
It's
not a
another
secret.
story. Okay.
It's not San Diego,
But I
man.
do have the GBT. God bless. I've been
Yep.
using it since 2015 when it came out. They started in New York. And every place I've worked at has pretty much had it. So it's been pretty awesome. But I don't even remember what I was going to say. Guys.
You moved
Oh,
to Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, there's a lot of offices here, but like the offices that do have it here are partially owned by like a DSO. But a lot of the hygienists will not use it. A lot of them will not disclose. And I'm like, guys,
Yep.
this is like the
Yep.
best tool. Like, I don't know how else to explain it to you. Like, I go over everything. I'm like, this is easier for you, better for the patient.
Yeah.
Like, this is a
Yeah.
lot of money that they've invested in for us, which a lot of offices do not.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
And I,
take
I saw that.
advantage.
I saw that when I was first seeking it out, trying to find it. And there was, and it doesn't have to be the airflow, like Lauren said, these other ones that are out there too. So if anybody's thinking about it, but there was like a demo a day and they came in with the machine and they were like showing us, and it was like a group of like 6, 7 hygienists, and some of them were like, nope, nope, nope. And then I was like the new grad that was like, wait,
Yeah.
what's going on? And I get the hesitation. It's something new to learn, and it wasn't easy for me to learn. Like it takes a lot of time, but then once you get it down, it's such a game changer and just changes you as a provider. But I think it's just the fear of like learning something new and struggling with, the little nuisances that it has.
That's how you grow, Like
That's it.
Yeah.
in New York, when they got them, they got 5. Like, we literally showed up to work the next day, and then we all had GBTs, and we're like, "What is
Wow.
this?" Like, I've been using a Cavitron for 15 years at that point, and I was like, I hated the piezo for literally 6 months. Like, I hated it. And then something just clicked,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, "Nope, this is like, I can't." I tried using, like, when
Yeah.
I temp sometimes, I'm like, "Oh my God," I'm like, "This is horrible."
I know
It's
people
not
are
the
like, "What do you
same.
piezo? Like, what are you talking about?" And I'm
But you
like,
have to
"Yeah,
give it
just
time, and that's it. You
Yeah.
just have to give it time.
it's that
But I don't
lateral surface."
understand exactly. It's exactly like using a scaler, but it's a powered scaler. Why are we resistant to using the motorized version of the thing that hurts our hand that we
Right?
use all day long? Like, as
Yeah.
soon as I switched that, in when I was doing the trainings too, I was like, listen, guys, it's pretend it's a scaler because it is. you know,
Yeah,
but
I think in school too, they would say like, "Oh, the magnetostrictive is much more gentle on the patient. They're not as sensitive." And I don't experience that. I feel that with the piezo. I'm like, my patients are way more sensitive to the
100%.
the
Yeah.
piezo.
Hey, that linear movement doesn't beat you up in an
Yeah.
elliptical form. Yeah,
No.
exactly. That
You're like trying to get the stain off. I'm like, oh my God, my hand. Oh, we have an airflow for that. Look at that.
Oh,
It's gone.
yay! And then there's that sexy little boost feature. Ooh, ooh, that's always fun. GBT for life.
Right. So
Anyway,
when did you first, like, do you remember like when you first went viral?
I mean, I feel like way before even people were like showing up talking, on the video farms. It was more like one of these like point to the tech type of thing that
what?
goes nowhere now, like doesn't
And I
work.
still
Yeah.
don't know where to put the
Yeah,
things. And I'm,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like one of those videos or something like, yeah.
You look
Yeah.
back, you're like, it's
I'm like, you
funny.
can't
mine
make
would be
those
like, I'm pointing
anymore.
up here, the words down here, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can't really go viral off of those anymore.
No.
No, I can't. No, because everything's being up leveled all the time. But it's amazing how you get sucked into the algorithm, and then everyone is doing. It's like the How to Flirt with a Hygienist in 2026 right now. I'm like, did I just have 7 of those pop up on my feed today? Okay, but I don't know. What has social media and being a social media presence taught you about your fellow dental hygienists and the world at large?
Oh my gosh, a lot of things. Ooh, I would say with hygienists, I've seen a lot of providers that want to learn how to be better, how to give the best to their patients, which I love that. I love that we are asking each other questions and we're open in that way. But also on like the negative side, I've seen us come at each other a
Yeah,
lot for certain things, which is crazy, but it's out there.
yeah.
But I think more so on the positive side than anything. Like we do all have a lot of the same things in mind when it comes to our profession and our patients. So that's been really cool. Like our
Mhm.
community is pretty awesome. And then just like personally as a whole, it's taught me how to have thicker skin, the way that I'll
Have
put
you
it.
had to? Do people say anything? How could you ever say anything negative to you? You're like the sweetest little thing on the planet. She,
No, no, there's been things that happen, it's like talking about, hygienist-owned practices or talking about OPAs or those kinds of things like people get really upset about or they take it personally when I say I don't support something, things like that. So, and yeah, but I've learned how to deal with it, so it's a lot better now that I've been doing it for so long, but it used to really bother me, but not so much anymore, so that's good.
you're like that's nice. I
What's nice
texted
is we're all allowed to have an opinion. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I was texting Sia the other day because I just got my first troll on my.
she was so excited.
I was like, oh my trolled. I'm somebody now. Yay. Somebody doesn't like what I said, so they're actually listening. And that's when you know you're saying something, because I'm like, ooh, your feathers have been ruffled. Why? I want to know what's under your feathers
What
to
did
make you
you
get
say
upset.
exactly? What was
I was asking a myofunctional group about exercises for 2.5-year-olds. I was just asking for games, and because I haven't worked with a 2.5-year-old, the youngest I had was 4 right now. And this other provider, who is a myofunctional therapist, but maybe not a hygienist, got a little short with my answer. And so I thought, oh, fun. Okay. So then I wrote an extremely professional answer that was basically like, listen, nobody owns the patient. We all have to collaborate together. Like, you will bring a different perspective because you were trained differently, but so will I. And that doesn't make either one of us not valuable. And so I was just like, what are you going to say to that? And, basically she didn't. And I was like, oh, I did too well. So, but
we
I
we
didn't.
we should do a video of just the texts and videos we send each other throughout the day.
Dude, the terrorist kid you had the other day, I don't know. You had a bad, bad, bad child who was dumping water on everything. Man, that was
He almost
fucking.
threw the epic biolays across the room. I had to like grab his arm, and then he poured a glass of water all over my computer and keyboard.
Oh my gosh.
I referred them to pedo. I would like to refer all children to pedo. Kudos to the
Absolutely.
pedo people, because
Yeah. God
Yeah,
bless them.
maybe not
Yeah.
pedo all day for me, but I do like to
no,
see them. They're
No.
kind of they're fun.
I love
I like
well-behaved
good
children.
kids. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
depends
So,
depends on the kid. Yeah,
no.
Even if
yeah.
they're bad, if they're cute, like my one kid who was like, mom's trying to bribe. I polished like the front, but he wouldn't open anymore. He was done. And she's like, you're going to get a prize if you're done. He's like, I don't want a prize.
Oh darn.
She's
Whoa.
like, we're going for breakfast after this. We're going to go to McDonald's because you really want to go. He's like, I'm not hungry anymore. And he's
Wow.
4. And I was like, this is hilarious. I'm like, that's fine.
That kid's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
man.
my most recent one was literally about hygienist-owned practices, and there was a lot of dentists that were very, very upset that I even suggested that be a thing, although it's been around since the 80s in Colorado.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few comments
Exactly.
from there, and also just like patients that don't know what we do and don't know our background, like saying that stuff about that. But I mean, that's fine. Like, it's
Don't
expected.
they not like working with us anyways? Don't they not like doing exams all day long? Like, wouldn't it be beneficial to them? We just send them the patients.
Just depends on
Exactly.
which dentist you talk
Yeah.
to. There's
I know.
some that are here for us and some that aren't.
Yeah.
Ones we're trying to find. That's the community we're
Exactly.
building.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is one of the things that we keep coming up against, is like, this kind of feels imposter syndrome-y, and like, why do we keep ourselves smaller? Who are those people who are against us having this other thing? Because that feels like a scarcity mindset, right? We don't have, it's not I take this piece of the pie and you don't get any. And I feel like there's room, because there are so many kinds of communities, so many kinds of providers. There are patients who just want amalgam fillings, for example. Okay, great. You want that? Go to this kind of practice. I mean, if you want just a prevention, go to a hygienist-owned practice who all we do all day long is focus on prevention. That would be amazing. But some people don't care. And maybe some dentists, unfortunately, don't care. And maybe some just really do. And those are the ones that we have to connect with. And that's what we're trying to put out in our ripple of the universe here. But I don't know.
Because
What?
I struggle because I'm, today, my doctor, we're not in alignment very much. I could hear him talking in the other room. He's like, oh, she told you to get mouthwash. She's like, hold on. He goes, I got to go ask her because I know she's very particular.
Well, that's good. You're getting him trained.
Thank God. I'm like, don't tell them
Yay.
Listerine, please.
He's listening. See? People can change. People
Yeah.
can change. Okay, Britt, in your experience then, and all the things you've kind of talked about and taught other people, how do you suggest that a hygienist who might be in an office like Tasia is, where her doctor's not quite in alignment, do you have a suggestion for how they could feel more fulfilled during their clinical day?
I feel like for me, it all just started with making sure I was doing my job of reviewing the medical history, checking the blood pressure, doing my oral cancer screenings. Like those 3 things right there, just starting out and making sure I'm doing that. I felt like I was starting somewhere, I'm checking the boxes, because even that alone gets missed all the time. Like I was coming across medical histories that had never been updated. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Or
Yeah,
perio
that's
charts.
true.
Perio charts too. That's another way. Update your perio charts and make sure that perio is being properly diagnosed and treated. But I
Yeah.
think sometimes we always say like, oh, we don't have enough time. But if you have an hour appointment, you have enough time to do those things. Maybe not as a new grad, you got to get your footing down, but
Mhm.
we definitely have more than enough time to review a medical history and do a hypertension screening. I don't even count hypertension screening as taking time because I am always doing something else while that is
Yeah.
going. Like,
Mhm.
there's no excuse for not checking blood pressure.
Yeah.
That's true. You just put it on the wrist and go fill in the notes and say,
Yeah.
"Okay." Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's
true.
always something else to do. And the other thing too, like, because we've been talking so much about, guided biofilm therapy and all that stuff, but it's like you can also provide high quality care even if you don't have that technology in your
Mhm.
operatory. You can still be it's a great hygienist and you don't
Yes.
have to have those things. You can still do all the protocol, do the disclosing solution, even though it's a mess when you have
Mhm.
to polish it and all that.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what we're here for. We're supposed to be doing our best, right? We all took an oath to do our best, not be time efficient or, worry about Mrs. Jones's lipstick. I mean, I feel like we get, like you were kind of saying earlier, we get bogged down in these other people's patterns and it's hard to fight against the current of what people aren't doing. And, it's tricky. And if we don't have support, like, how do we
Yeah.
build on that?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm just learning to just, like you said, do what I do.
Do
He's
do
kind
what
of
you
like, like I'll go over airway. We have referrals. I'll send them for that, whether anyone else talks about it or not. It's okay because I did my part. I just get frustrated sometimes when certain things go missed or we're going to watch this or this is infected, but it's a 20 millimeter pocket. We'll wait until it hurts. Oh, yay. And then because I'm so passionate and then I get frustrated and then I get stressed because I'm like, this person is leaving with infection in their mouth.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is
So I'm
really
just
frustrating.
trying to you know, work through that. Just
One of
some
the
days are better
questions
than others.
One of the questions we kind of ask each other a lot is how do we change the perception of hygienists and the importance of hygiene when an example like that is the patient doesn't even know or care? So, what do you think? Do you have an answer for that, Britt? How do we change?
Education, I always trip people up with, yeah, this bacteria has actually been found in the heart and in your brain. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, this. And then I always say, because of course I want to use terminology like gingivitis, but I sometimes you just got to say your gums are infected. And they're like, whoa, because gingivitis might just go right over their head. So I'm just like, your gums are infected. If you see bleeding, that's because bacteria is there and this is all connected. Your head and your mouth are not disconnected from the rest of your body. Like,
Sure,
this is
famous.
all
Yeah.
one.
I think that's the perception we have to keep changing because I'm not sure how, what is it, eyes and mouth are somehow separate from the
Separate.
body.
Yeah.
Like, do
Hmm.
we
We
take them
forgot
out? I
about
don't,
them. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, we
yeah,
forgot
I
about
don't know.
them. They're
Because
missed.
I am glad that the oral systemic connection is gaining some traction though. And there's people like us who need to be loud and squeaky and get out there and just remind people and let them know that everything's connected. And I always find it like a fun little challenge, maybe with their medical history, but then also once you get to know that patient, what's important to them, what's going to make them hear you about the connections. So, especially if somebody has Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ALS in their family, and then we talk about that neurological connection. But I mean, I still think the number one thing people listen to, especially a man, is I'm going to be like, erectile dysfunction. Hello. Do you want your circulation to actually work for you? Is this important? If your mouth isn't being used, maybe other things would like to be. I don't know.
Mhm.
But hey, you find what's important and you make it connect.
and it's
Yeah, I
just
feel
about
like, oh,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Yep.
Oh, I was just going to say too, like, I think sometimes those conversations can be like intimidating, even reviewing a medical history or letting the patient know you're doing an oral cancer screening. But I feel like repetitively, since I've done those things, ultimately, like most patients end up really appreciating it. And they're like, wow, you're really thorough. Like, I think
Yeah.
at first, like, we get in our own head and we're like, oh gosh, like, I'm going to be palpating this patient's neck and their chin. Like, what are they going to think? But I think ultimately, once they say, like, oh, what are you doing? And you educate them on it, they're like, oh, okay, thank you. Like, most of the time, they appreciate it,
They do.
in
That
my
is true.
experience.
Because a lot
And
of
they
them have
thank you
never
for
had
having a
that before,
massage.
right? So yes, and I tell them, this is like your free massage here right now. But I
Like, little,
think it is important. And even if they don't get it right away. Like you see them every 3, 4, 6 months and they start to open up and they understand. And it's nice because then you build that connection. And then it's like, I've had some great, conversations this week with patients and I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Unless you
getting
know it's
through to
out there.
someone.
Mhm.
All right, let's talk about the future of dental hygiene. What
The
excites you?
future.
What's
Yes.
coming along? What do we
Honestly,
have?
medical dental integration, like, I think for me, I wanna be in, like, a fertility clinic, or I wanna be working with, like, pregnancy and parents, and, I really would love to do that. That's where my head's at right now. Like, I wanna be in there educating them about the outcomes of gum disease and pregnancy outcomes, and then it would just be amazing to be able to have your own hygiene prevention operatory in a
Mm-hmm.
fertility
Yes.
clinic, like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing, and then tell
Yeah,
them about
wow.
all the things to expect for how to
Yeah.
take care of the baby's teeth. That seems like a dream.
That would be. Because
I
I was
think you're
telling
onto
Lauren, like,
something.
yes, because
Yeah.
I was like, even like, I would love to work in a functional medicine office.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Why
yeah,
can't we? Because
yeah.
I get frustrated because I want to do like a functional medicine course, but it's like they say healthcare providers, but hygiene is never on that list. We
Mhm.
need to
Yeah.
get us on those lists.
Yeah, like, I'm reading a fertility book right now, and it's all talking about inflammation, and I'm gonna be so pissed if gum disease is not in there. I'm gonna be so mad. I'm
You're
like,
gonna
I'm
write an
gonna
article.
Yes, I'm gonna literally, like, write the author and be like, so I'm waiting for it to come up, so we will see. It's talking about everything else, so
Hmm. Well, at least they're talking about something. It's again, people are like, what does the baby have to do? I'm like, you're literally feeding it. What are you talking about? Everything that circulates through you is going through said little person.
Mhm.
See, so this is exciting. Those connections in these kind of little wellness pop-up studios would be really cool because if people could understand that yes, the fertility matters, yes, the functional matters, yes, how about in a chiropractor office and you work on myofunctional therapy and dry
Mhm.
mouth solutions, and because each one of these places that we love to refer to, what if then each one had a hygiene office
That'd be
available?
so amazing.
Mhm.
That would
And do
be
some,
amazing.
like, non-invasive stuff,
Mm-hmm.
some
Yep.
Curidon, some SDF, like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
sounds like a
Anything
dream.
preventative. Yeah.
I would be in a rheumatologist office, I think. I
Yeah,
love all things like autoimmune, just fascinates me.
yeah, or, like, a cardiologist
Mm-hmm.
office, like
Yes.
For sure. I mean, and why isn't that even something we've considered? And then could you imagine the patient's response when they said, "Oh, we're sitting in the waiting room and there's an RDH right there? Like, why is she here?" But imagine the conversations that would start. That would be
Mhm.
so exciting if this could happen. Britt, you've got a new
Yep.
platform, bro.
Yep.
You got to do it. Like, this is it. I need you to go out there and advocate to get little pop up hygiene studios. Let's drop little cubicles in different medical offices. Oh,
That
man,
was see
I,
that that's like a
that would be
dream. That would
amazing.
be
Dude,
amazing.
I
Yeah.
bet Colorado will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
if they haven't
Minnesota as
already.
well. Yeah.
And Maine, Maine has their own clinics
Yeah.
too. I, I don't
Can
know.
we got to work on the Midwest, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, what?
But maybe that's why I've been put in Michigan. Maybe I need to be part of the
You're the
Michigan
one.
Dental Hygiene
That's
Association
it.
and light
You're
some
near
fire under some people's asses and be like, "Wake up.
because
We
no
are
one
healthcare
has.
providers, guys. Let's
And
act
this is
like
the
we
thing.
care.
Abs- And you
Let's
have to
not act like
reignite
we
the
care.
fire.
Let's actually care." You know?
We do care. We always
Yeah.
cared. That's why we got into patient
Mhm.
care. And we just have to remind people sometimes. I feel like sometimes this is like a bad relationship or an old marriage where you're like, do I still love you? Ugh, I don't know. But then you remember, you read your vows again and you're like, oh, I do love how your toes smell. Whatever. Whatever. You're welcome.
You are weird and I love you.
Hey, on that note, we should wrap this up. We're approaching an hour. So, all
We have
right,
a problem. Okay.
we can never keep it close. We're like,
Would you come back sometime?
we have so much more to
Yes,
talk
Okay.
about.
Yeah.
absolutely. I would always come back.
All
We are
right.
thankful that you chose to spend time with us
Thank you
today.
so
And
much. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
You
well, thanks
you've
for what
set
you're
the
doing.
standard high for a lot. So you're out there putting yourself out there. People are seeing you and you're motivating them to want to do more. And I think
Thank
Well,
that's
and I
you.
do,
amazing. So,
it's amazing that you've done this with such a vigor and a fire under you, and you've only been a hygienist for a few years,
yeah.
whatever. And I think that that's great. And I think that newer grads are the ones that kind of push a lot of us along, right? I often will ask for a younger practitioner or a nurse practitioner or wherever when I go to a clinic because I'm like, I don't want the old person who's settled in their ways. I want the person who still asks, why aren't you taking my blood pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Why
Mm-hmm.
aren't you doing the things that I learned? Like, I think it's phenomenal. So you keep pushing it forward
Yeah.
and, you
Because
know,
Thank you.
young,
They're gonna
old,
keep.
we
They
can
keep
all
pushing me
learn from
too.
each other. Yeah, we all learn from each other, and that's what's great,
yeah.
you know?
And that's what we should be doing. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. But
And
all right, Brett, where do you want everyone to find you?
Brush with Britt on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything. Brush with Britt with 2 T's.
and
There
we'll
you
put
go.
that in the episode notes as well. But do you have any unhinged thing you want to share before we go?
Any unhinged thing. Oh
Get
my
crazy,
gosh.
Britt. This is your chance.
Lord, let's see.
It doesn't even have to be dental, really. We're just, it can be.
You
Man.
could be like, the earth is flat. Boom.
I'm
No,
great,
you know what? You know what? Costco is coming out with they just came out with a strawberry cheesecake soft serve ice cream in their like food court area.
Oh,
And
boy.
I'm getting it this weekend.
Hey, you're feeling naughty.
That's my unhinged thing.
That sounds good.
And okay, actually this is how unhinged it gets because that's one of my favorite ice creams. It's like literally $2-3 and it's delicious. And so they came out with this strawberry cheesecake one and I literally was calling. I called 2 or 3 Costco's and I was like, "Do you guys have it yet?" And they're like, "No, fatty, we don't have it yet."
That's dedication. That's good. See?
Me and Lauren are going to go to Costco this week, and we're going to take
I
a
know, I'm
picture
like,
with a cone.
I have to go.
I hope
Yeah.
it's good.
Right?
I love
I hope it
strawberry
lives up
anything.
to the hype.
I was disappointed with the giant hot dog, although I am always happy to eat a pizza slice the size of a plate in my face. I'm always like, okay, but phew, I don't know. We're gonna have to go on the hunt for some ice cream.
Yeah,
That's
some
it.
soft serve ice cream.
I want to see
All right.
pictures.
Gotta
of
have
that
See,
it.
ice
so
cream.
this is
All
the
right.
challenge for the week that
All
you're
right.
out there. Put in the notes in the comments what your favorite ice cream is and
Yes.
your favorite Costco commodity.
Just make sure to floss and brush after.
Please. Yes.
Please, and don't
Duh.
buy the gold Listerine pack from Costco.
Don't buy
Please.
any Listerine pack from Costco.
That's too. Unless you're cleaning the floors with it like it was originally intended to be used. Fun fact.
That's
So,
why the original tasted like pine sol. All
that's
right.
right. Same.
Yes.
Okay. So we
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you
We
so
thank you,
much.
Brett, for your time.
Yes, for your
And
time, your
thank you.
energy,
We'll dance our
your
way out.
smiles, and your happiness. We love it.
Yeah,
Keep it
that's
going.
it.
We'll
Okay.
talk to you soon.
Bye. Dancing out.
Lauren always has to talk, so I have to edit. This is what she does.